So right next to the level button, and this is the innovation, there's this other button which is like notification there already, and it's literally called
Innovation is called UA. Its innovation is called UA.
It's called UA.
It's a color book.
Is dictating your level progression. That's how it's called.
Yeah.
So what we have here is pretty much a different kind of a core, where instead of clicking on like it's still zoomable, by the way, but it's not like this kind of a fake 3D picture. Is this?
This is a no bullshit gaming show where we talk about games and their revenue in great detail, powered by our ad monetization, game design, and user acquisition triple threat expertise. Welcome to the 2.5 Gamers, the unfiltered truth served with a side of giggles. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously. Tune in now and stay 2.5 steps ahead of the gaming industry.
Actually interesting because they have not only one game but 3 games and very different scenarios. I'm not sure if you checked that.
Of course I checked that.
Of course you did. Felix didn't, which is a shame. Anyway, welcome.
Anyway, as usual.
Yeah. Welcome. This is 2.5 Gamers episode number I don't care and nobody cares because we stopped counting, and that's a great thing because we should be.
You can tell us.
Yeah, like please guys, like if you can do our homework, please do. Anyway, welcome. My name is Matija Lančarić.
I'm Felix Broberg.
And I'm Jakub Remar.
We are your hosts. And we're looking forward to this episode because we just finished one recording, and why not record another one? But it's a very different game. This time, we're actually talking about Triple Match City Tile Puzzle from Radiant Cat Studio, which we didn't hear before at all. But, we check great games, we uncover hidden gems, and we are always 2.5 steps ahead of the industry, as we like to say. Or the hobby of the podcast, of the gaming podcasts. Anyway, so okay, stop with the bullshit.
That's funny. Yeah.
Well,
I was just going to say we do deeper dives and we're more serious, and then you're like,
yeah,
okay. Let me cut the crap here.
Yeah, like I said, the hobby of the gaming podcast on the Capybara Go episode. Okay, let's go. It's actually very interesting.
So what happened here? That there's like a wild hockey stick appears.
Okay. So it's not a slow hockey stick. Great.
No, this is a wild hockey stick that you would encounter in Pokemon. So this game was literally sitting there from July 2022, and then suddenly, probably went into some kind of a. Maybe let's switch to downloads. Probably went
downloads
into
doesn't
some
make.
kind of
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Downloads wise, this is terrible.
Very limited still. But regarding revenue, there's literally just scaling like there's no tomorrow. Already reached like 40K.
It's 40K. A day. It's 40K a day. Yeah. Only IIPs. Only IIPs. Yeah. Out of nowhere.
Like, out of nowhere on very slow download traffic.
That's the thing.
Way,
yeah, but look, like it's really expensive because it's really expensive to run these games.
But user-wise, it's 23K DAU. I think like these numbers are just too early.
I still think it's wrong, right? Because I was looking at these earlier, and like the downloads and revenue, and it doesn't align. But
but the downloads are it's like 10K downloads per day or something. It's not a lot.
Not even that. It's 24,000 worldwide.
Other interesting part here: the studio itself has one giant game called Flashback Tricky Fun Riddles, which is a mini game app basically, where you go and you have this like I don't even how to call this genre. Like I think the closest one would be like MacPixel or whatever, which is just these like real life, like one Steam game, very popular.
Oh, okay.
Where you have these like real life situations where you need to do something and then like
it's ultra casual. It's ultra casual.
But the thing is, like this, like. If you go and then who's the killer? Who is the killer? And why is she? All these questions were super popular in creatives a few years ago, and like so many different apps were using this. Like, who is the killer? Who is this? Who is like?
Game
it's
based
amazing.
It's like it's amazing. Or what?
Yeah. So this game they did again in May 2022. So I guess even before the game we're talking about. But
of course.
It ranked like 42, let's say 42 million downloads till then, and still making like 1.7 million downloads a month.
And those games are 100% ad revenue based.
It's all ads. It's all ads. Yeah, it's all ads.
If we check the revenue, there's nothing here, just the game we're talking about.
That game is probably making anywhere between 80 to 120k a day in ads, easily.
Yeah. Because Triple Match City for October already did nearly 1 million in IP revenue. Yeah.
It's like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's
why we're talking about it. Exactly.
By the way, the design is very good, and that's why we really need to talk about it.
Of course, yes.
And you know where the studio is? Where do you think? Where do you think the studio is?
Turkey.
Obviously, because everything good comes out of Turkey these days.
Great to hear that.
It's true. It's true, though. Yeah.
Okay. So what we see immediately from the main menu is that there's the typical Royal Match meta all over the place with star chest, level chest, ads, offers, teams, and like it's pretty much the bread and butter these days.
All in whole, same thing.
All in whole, same thing. Yeah.
Just the new thing.
Everybody's using it. That's like the meta to kind of go from now. So if we go into actual core, the pre-boosters as always, and then there are boosters in the core itself, and the core, how it works is based on actually you clicking on stuff like you would do with like Match Factory.
It's Match 3D.
A little bit different.
It's Where's Waldo meets Match 3D.
Hidden object.
It's Where's Waldo.
This is the innovation here, that you can just imagine Match 3D, Match Factory kind of a gameplay, but instead of a mess where you need to rubble through things, you have a hidden object kind of like picture that you can zoom in very closely and zoom out. Even clouds going around it to kind of hinder your vision, basically.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And again, stuff's clocked onto top of each other, so it's counting on misclicks. That if you click somewhere and you have fat fingers, whatever, click somewhere that you didn't want to, you kind of clog your inventory at the bottom bench, and then you need to kind of, let's say, this dinosaur, which is giant. I don't have dinosaur in my objective, but now I need to click on two other dinosaurs, which I lose time because I need to kind of do stuff with it and clear my bench.
When I was playing this game, and my fat fingers that I hate, like my big balloon animal, like monster Viking Scandinavian fingers, like clicked all this stuff, and I was remembering you with your precision mouse. I was like, really wish I was playing this on emulator right now.
Felix, when Jakub mentioned fat fingers, I was almost about to say you mentioning you will have really hard time playing this game. So, but yeah,
I'm gonna hold up my fingers.
Because I know how you type. I know how you type like this with like normal people type pointers, with thumbs. He's not.
They're too big.
Right.
I can't type with my thumbs because I hit two letters at the same time.
And I was like, I was like, oh my god, like you will have really hard time playing this game. Really, really hard.
See, like if I was not playing this on an emulator with the mouse, like I would be hard time.
And also there are like cars moving, like people going from left to clouds as well. Yeah,
very big innovation. But let's just finish this one to kind of talk about the basic core. So this is the basic core. Again, see the dinosaurs because it's giant.
Yeah, even
I can't even click on it because I need to.
Get even with the mouse.
And then card the interstitial right after a level has been won, which these guys didn't get because they played it on iOS.
That is Plunko, the iteration of Plinko, which is a social casino company that everyone bans because it's social casino. And then they skin the game and come up with a new one. I have banned in one of my clients' apps, I have banned Plinko, Plinko Beta, Plinko Alpha, Plunko, Plunko Beta in the last 6 months. And now it's on Plunko. Chinese company. Man. I'm gonna go crazy because I get the same messages. Like they're
my god,
they're nice to localize.
Plinko, Plunko.
But this is like super localized. Like it says only for Slovakia. You win this. It's like, oh my god.
Slovak is in Slovak, so it's great.
I've seen it in every language.
There's an interstitial after the level. There's a star rating as usual. There's the multiplier for the currency, which goes from 10 to 25, and you can watch a rewarded video to multiply that, as always, which we won't do now.
Which starts at level what? Because I didn't see that until level 15. Yeah.
No. Here's an innovation as well. So I've played it on iOS. I still haven't seen any ads that are not rewarded.
Yeah.
So it's basically on iOS, there's no intrusive ads yet. There's no banners, there's no interstitials. And yeah, like on Android, when me and Jakob were talking about this, like, yeah, they pile on the ads there. But not on iOS.
Okay, so as usual, when you're completing levels or completing stars, you get either star chest or level chest, which can be again doubled for rewarded video regarding the rewards, which is just basically more boosters, more like unlimited lifetime or whatever, some of these things. The typical weekly challenge kind of meter on top, really bread and butter. Here comes the innovation. So you see here, if I go to level 20, we are on the hard level, and that's kind of the usual one, just like more expanse, more hidden, more kind of stack. Like I actually don't even want to do this one. I think they're still missing the streak mechanic because I haven't seen it yet. Or maybe somewhere later. Okay.
Oh, hello.
There wasn't a streak mechanic introduced yet.
So, dear listeners, we are actually reviewing interstitial business. Not a game, but interstitial.
Interstitial business for social casino. I don't know if social casino is like a hardcore. Why can't you go back?
Because you did you hit try again. Here, you need to click X. And you see like this is how like your program, like just click like you mentioned in the Age of Empires.
You're right. Yeah. Okay, so bottom row. So there's this B and V.
Black and white.
Black and white, yeah, okay. So right next to the level button, and this is the innovation, there's this other button which is like notification there already, and it's
innovation is called UA. Its innovation is called UA.
It's called UA. Is dictating your level progression. That's how it's called.
Yeah.
So what we have here is pretty much a different kind of a core, where instead of clicking on like it's still zoomable, by the way, but it's not like this kind of a fake 3D picture. Is this whatever black and white picture, which is 10 times harder to do here.
Yeah.
Because what we're not doing, we just need to collect these kind of colorless.
There's Cornelius. There's Cornelius, my investigator. Investigator.
Yeah. So
there you go.
we have the same time, and it's just like 10 times harder. I think I failed here already a few times with some of the levels, because you see here that you just need to be super
like you have drafts.
Press the magnet. Press the magnet.
Where's the magnet? Oh,
at the bottom.
Okay, give me one. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. I need like 10 more animals. So
you have the giraffe on the right hand corner. On the oven, there's an alligator as well.
See, this is the important thing. Like you don't even see the full picture. You need to kind of scroll around it, move it, zoom it.
Zooming in and
yeah. So it's very complicated, but it's still not the full weapon this thing kicks. I'll still show you one more.
Yeah, and then the thing is, like, this is just super hard as we see more and more. Like, these things are really hard in the casual games.
Yeah, where's the last crocodile?
There. Under the mark.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Under your cursor, under your mouse. It's like right there.
So that's the black and white mini game, which, by the way, it has very unintuitive unlocking because it actually slows down afterwards. So if I go here, you see that it starts to unlock after every single level until level. I think it was something like 30. No. Yeah. Sorry.
Why is this game making so much IP revenue?
Sorry. Once again, this is unlocking first 5 levels, and then it jumps to 30.
Yeah.
Then it jumps to like 10 level. Kind of a difference when this is unlocking. Then it jumps to 20 levels.
Yeah.
And then
of course.
it suddenly like kind of vanishes away slowly from the core. Just saying.
Because it's only there for the UA part.
UA. Yes. So just saying. So this is the other thing. And the masterpiece here which is again part of the core, is this, which is literally sandbox levels where you have 30 minutes, you heard this right, 30 minutes per level, and what you need to do is pretty much collect every fucking thing from the level, every one of that. So you don't even know, like, hopefully, or say thankfully, trees are not collectible, so I'm not clicking on that.
Not
But
everything is
pretty much
collectible.
every single thing is collectible here. And the worst part of this are like different variations of people, because they kind of look the same, and you need to really zoom in to kind of see the differences between them, but you still need to collect them. And that's it. And you're doing this. I was able to do the first one in like 12 minutes, but my guess is this gets harder. And on top of it, there are these annoying clouds on top of it. And yeah, like if you really want to have some kind of a chance of, like, you see how these things are.
Also, things are stacked on top of buildings. You see the coffee mug. To get the building, you have to take the coffee mug first.
Yeah. There we go. Exactly as Felix said. So coffee mug first. There's even some of the buildings or some of the mechanics in the main game where you click on something, it actually gives you two different parts, which puts a giant strain on your bench. Because imagine I would click on that building, it would put actually both the coffee and the building into the bench together.
Yeah.
So they have even these mechanics in the main core. Haven't seen it yet, but my guess is it's also translated here. And like it, and as you play this, interstitial will roll in.
I mean, you have already banner there, but the thing is, like,
you have already banner there, but interstitial will roll in, disregarding.
But
of
the
what
scale
I'm doing.
is not there yet for banners. That's the thing. Like, the scale is not there yet for banners, so it doesn't really make sense.
What do we can move on to the ad revenue part, because basically, just do it quickly, because it says on Sensor Tower that essentially there's 8,000 users, 9,000 users in the States on iOS, 0 on Android, and 12,000 on iOS worldwide. So it says 21,000 users worldwide, right? But I doubt that's true.
No, that's not true yet.
Here, like, should I throw on 50K there? What do we think? Like 50K on Android? Like worldwide, 20 in the US?
Could be. Could be.
All right, I'll put it on. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have pretty much 3 different types of the core, which is like iteration of each other, but works perfectly, I would say. One for the UA, one for the long banners and interstitials, and one for the main difficulty and level progression. It's very, very nice. And this additional like sandbox levels, they do the same thing here that you see there, like unlock every 10 levels until they don't, and then they unlock every 20 levels, every like 50, 40 levels, and then suddenly every 50 levels.
Yeah. Why do you think this game is making so much on IAP?
Because the boosters are really appealing, especially in this thing. Like if you like spend 30 minutes with it, and you definitely don't want to lose 30 minutes. Is just giant here. I'm sorry, you don't want to replay this for another 30 minutes. The levels themselves are kind of short, so it's like 2 to 3 minutes. But again, if you are in a good position, they are
even harder and harder, guys. That's
it gets harder and harder. There are moving parts in it. So let's say the level before, I had literally like a road with a tunnel, and cars were going on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And the cars you need to match, and you literally need to wait them out.
Yeah.
So my guess is why it is so good, and probably I just won't be able to see it here, is their mechanics curve, meaning like all these different kind of triple match / hidden object mechanics that they add later to it, which are super interesting, which are then taking on the audience, and that's why they're just kind of so interesting.
Look like the like the match 3D kind of core. It's really sticky, and that's why like people are kind of were jumping on this train in the past. So here it's kind of it. So I can imagine like this is really good retention profile with the hidden objects. This is the same thing, right? Like hidden object games.
It's the time management core here, because you can't lose. Like if I, let's say, even click on the wrong shit, I can still get my way out of it. I just click on 2 more shits of it,
exactly.
Even though there's no objective, and like it just takes time. See, this is the mechanic where I need to first get the coffee, then the house, and so on and so forth. So
but these gaming companies, they're clever, right? Like they're doing stuff for UA, they're doing the gameplay that's like forgivable, and also they're designing levels around ads. So basically a level takes not more than 90 seconds because you need to show 14 interstitials to users to be able to scale up and earn ad revenue, but also people want to stay in the premium field.
Keep in mind, this is the third podcast in a row where we see a mini game being put into the game just for the UA purposes. Third podcast in a row, basically.
The only thing that's missing from here is something saying that you're better than X amount of players, or how hard the level is.
Just wait a second.
Like this is the same kind of not template, but kind of blueprint as Play-Doh, for example, right? Like short levels that people play a lot of and come back playing a lot of to maximize that revenue.
Same as Royal Match. Like Royal Match had the Asset King, why
except like this is way higher CPR. Oh, well, Play-Doh could be also high CPR. Like all this Vudoku, Sudoku stuff, it's like aimed for like all. I mean, like that's the that's where it's coming from. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not really like that cheap, honestly. And also like match 3D games are also not that cheap in terms of the CPI. So that's the thing. Like it's a little bit cheaper than match 3, but still.
What are you watching? What is this?
It's Temu ad. It's Temu ad.
Yeah, are you obsessed also with this self-mixing mug?
Yeah. Of course, Jakub is.
I'm gonna go buy this for both of your wives, but the kicker is I'll pay for the mug, but you have to tell me the reactions when you say that you're the one who gave it to
me. Yeah.
All right.
Mug.
So if I assume that basically
money does it make?
50,000 Android users a day, active users a day, plus the 8,000 and 12,000 iOS users, it's making right now about 20 to 30,000 a day. So still really small. It's about 37% in terms of overall revenue, but we have no idea about the active user base. The one thing that sticks out here to me is like they don't really push the remove ads that much, and they don't have the rewarded app open interstitial. But the thing is, I think they probably segment this quite heavy, right?
Yeah.
Because that's also the one playbook from this game. So you segment users to try to keep the premium field, to keep them in for as long as possible. So it's just about like figuring out which users are going to pay, which are never going to pay, and then you show them either 14 interstitial ads a day, or you let them pay. And it seems like a lot.
Can you split it by countries?
Yeah. I just want to say that
heavy US.
Based on the shape of this curve, of course, the heavy US, 76% is US. Based on the shape of this curve, they either peak very fast or they just keep growing, and then we'll see it. And again, this will be probably another case for review radar.
Peak very fast and then grow, then the kind of decrease and slow down and then grow again, because I think like they need to figure out
2 years to slow down, right? Like so. Yeah.
Yes, but Triple Match was first a game that was actually doing this before everybody else.
The bench.
I don't know. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. If you want to make it work, you hire a Turk. And these guys, they're going to make it work.
And then you watch 2.5 gamers, obviously.
I think we need to review this a little bit more in review radar, because it's still a bit too early with the active user base to basically give a score, I would say, at least from ad revenue, because it's just impossible to calculate anything that could be realistic. Like I'm guessing here on the active user base, so it's like impossible.
Yeah, they're getting like 7,000 users per day on this, which 5,000 is basically iOS and 2,000 is Google Play. It's just it doesn't really match.
I'm assuming all the creators are the black and white with a coloring book or something like that.
Yes. Thank you very much for listening. But I will give them 10 out of 10 because of one creative and one creative only.
Oh, really?
Give the screen. Give the screen.
Don't worry. I mean, I'm joking, but still, you will see. You'll see what I'm talking
already
about.
They're doing great because they have a plan for UA from product side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, I mean...
Already doing great because they have a plan from Admon, like, built in perfectly into the core, right?
Okay, I see
you see why?
Already.
I've tried 400...
You are such a cheap date, Mathieu. You are such a cheap...
No, I'm joking. Obviously, it's not 10 out of 10 at all, because basically what this is the only concept they have. 464 times can't find 100 animals. and then it ends as fail. And that's it. It's flamingos. Then there is the playable ad, which is basically a frog. Okay, here's the frog. Thank you very much.
By the way, they have the royal match and
here's
screen.
the frog as well.
Choose your level one. You know.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, everybody does that these days. It's this was a frog. Now this should be a turtle or whatever is this. 1 sec. No, frog again. Here's the frog. Here's the frog. Here's the frog.
It's playable?
It's playable. Yeah, this is playable. Here's a frog. Here's a frog. Here's a frog. Okay, I can't click on this anymore. Here's a frog. So I mean, it's like I can kind of see it. So I don't think I don't know why are you.
I hope the playable won't let you click on 100 frogs.
Yeah, and then here we have the same thing, but in actually black. But it's like trying to find the hearts. Yeah, and again 464 times 100 kind of objects. And
what's the thing that the hand is holding in? Is like screwdriver or what's that?
No, it's not screwdriver. It's like I don't know, like how to.
I had them in woodcraft when I was like in third grade.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It's like when you piked. It's a pike.
You can tell that both Maciej and I work with our hands quite a lot. The thing.
Yeah, exactly. The thing. Yeah, that's the thing. The thing. And then again hearts, and then all of these like small. And then we have pumpkins, obviously, because of the
Halloween
777 this time, not 6 for like it's. But it's again like it's nothing else. This is the all thing. So that's why I think it's gonna die quite quickly, because this I think it's again like the situation where we're not ready for like such a scale yet. I mean, let's see what they do on Facebook, which is exactly the same thing.
But there's no scale. That's very simple.
There's no scale yet, yeah. And this is just like something they tried in the past, but it's definitely not working as great as the black and white stuff. But at least they have some other kind of concepts.
Yeah, so altered gameplay basically.
Altered gameplay.
They don't have the bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but still. We have horses. I'm actually really, really worried why there are no unicorns, but I guess they'll put it there. All jokes aside, also like I mean, they're kind of paying attention what works outside of like their kind of casual space, because they're like this is working for apps as well, like this black and white where's Valdo type of thing and creative concepts. I've seen this a lot. So this is great, but they built it inside here. They're trying to find these like flags, which is flags are working really well. I think we saw it in the previous creative trends for the Seaside Escape. Also here, like animals, the headlines right here. That's like the hyper casual stuff. So I mean, they do have quite a lot of like iterations on this, but it's like like 3 like different concepts. Different. I mean, because this is working way better. Yeah, this is working way better than the like colored, and also this is in the game. So that's
they just have this black and white thing, and then they have the altered core gameplay, and that's it. So just to create the concept altogether.
No, but few other stuff. Which I mean, the Rotten Tomato and ASMR stuff as a hook, and then we have this. So look, I mean,
what?
Yes.
So Rotten Tomato with maggots, and then like switches to black and white to find other frogs.
Yeah.
You could literally put anything there as a hook.
I know. Yes, you could put literally anything, but there's ASMR stuff that I mean, because it kind of
strong emotions.
Strong emotions. It's gross, basically. Everything gross works.
It doesn't also make sense. It's mobile.
Exactly, and also like you see, like this is borrowed from Match Factory and all of the different Match 3D games that then play creative. This is just like static. It's not like going up because then usually the right hand side it's going up, and you need to match different things. So yeah, and that's basically it. So it's not bad, but they could do much better, obviously. But I mean, sometimes like I'm asking myself, like, who am I to judge? But I would definitely add like 4 or 5 different concepts into this. Like definitely, where is Valdo thing? It would make sense because why not? Like why Egypt? mean, seriously, like, there's
It's one of their
so many
maps, I
different
guess.
things that yeah, but still, it's the art style is gorgeous. I mean, I really like it. It's really nice. I mean,
What would you do if you
we're
were
gonna see
the
gonna see all of this a little bit more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's terrible.
I don't want the baby, but it's yours, and then gets kicked out of the
and
balcony by John
and
Wick.
then yeah, pretty much. Find my babies. I lost them. So I mean, we would see this more often. I'm pretty sure, which is terrible. But what I mean, like, at least they have hearts in black and white afterwards. So they're kind of I would. I mean, anything. They have like a lot of great art that they can use. Anything like you see with the narrative, like the positive ads that the Match Factory was doing, like, why don't you use this? It's such a great thing. Like, it's really nice. So like things like that, not like babies coming out of your womb, like when you are kicked out of the balcony, and like that's the thing. So
you know where this is coming from?
Yeah, tell me, Project Makeover.
Actually, this is coming from their first game. I'm just checking the creative.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I want to say, like, who is the killer in all of this? Yes, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're using some of the creatives from the first game, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's the weird playbook, or the weird stuff that is working well for them in the first game.
Yeah. The question that I have here: what would you do to kind
That's
of improve
it, like
this?
positive ads, definitely. If they wanna go into that direction, I mean, there's a lot of different things on the altered gameplay they can try. I think you have the 30-minute level, the sandbox. Can you imagine this, where like slowly getting all of these as like almost slightly like ASMR type of thing with like elevator music there? It's a huge map. It's almost like very calming and type of thing when you just try to find all the objects for like 2 minutes. Like the actual gameplay, like these things, like long, very slow, relaxational things that like Calm is doing, and all, like that's one thing. Then you have the slicing and stuff. So I think like what here they could do the positive ads, the anything story driven on top of this, because they have quite the nice art. So you can create like comics type of interactive stories as well. Like, you have so many different options.
Like Lily's Garden?
Kind of, almost. They're not like advertising with all the pregnancy stuff, but yes, that's in that way.
Which they already have there.
They already have there. Yeah, we already yeah, exactly. So like, so many different things. I mean, you don't really need to go directly to Project Makeover and then just freezing families, but something in the middle would be actually great.
Yeah, but it will end up in freezing families.
Most probably.
100%.
Yeah, most probably. And then, you know, like, what's gonna happen? Like, they're gonna add like all the pins and freezing families in the mini games next to the black and white Where's Waldo type of thing. It's, I mean, that's my assumption.
Okay. I was just checking the other game, and it's just like,
don't even go there. No, don't even go there.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah,
want
it's even worse. Yeah, it's even worse. I know, it's even worse. It's even worse. Yeah. It's like, exactly.
Well,
yeah,
we're definitely going to release these guys at some point.
Can I transplant my eyes, please?
Please.
I know exactly. Because like, Who's the Killer was exactly like the predecessor of all of this freezing families bullshit. It's like, I've seen this so many times before, and the thing is, like, it works. It creates the drama and like the question, and like people are intrigued. Like, oh, wait a second, like, who's the killer? Okay, whatever. So, yeah. The Flamingo gets like 1+ point, but that's it basically.
So from my side, like, the game's great. Like, I really like the innovation, the ready for UA, 3 types of game mode for the core, bread and butter meta from Royal Match. Yeah, I don't really know like what they have there. Like, probably need to sort the real mechanics curve there. What they have like every whatever until level 500, like how they add new mechanics and like which of those are there. But my guess is if it's working so well, then they have them. Yeah, so already saw like few of those, and they're like very, very innovative. So it's a nice blend of triple match plus hidden object. So that's like for me this is like definitely a 9.
For me, it's absolutely like I mean, honestly,
9.
look, like Felix,
Honestly,
this in 1 year, it's gonna be grossing really high if they don't screw up, which I don't think they will.
80% that work, and you do the 20% super hard innovation. They did this. They did this.
Yeah. Also, like the only part which is gonna be tough is the UA part. Honestly, because they're in the
hardest part here.
The hardest part here is gonna be
like
figuring out the UA.
With the minigame.
The minigame, yes. Which I think it's gonna be quite easy to just flip to something else, right? It's just because it's those sidelines. So it's just gonna flip to something else, pimples or whatever else. you can name it. It's like that's gonna be the hardest part to figure out because
you can
it's
see the
really expensive. It's really expensive on the CPI, so they need to decrease. And how we do it? This is how we do it.
Don't judge games only by their scale of revenue and
exactly.
It's much more harder to spot before they scale.
This is really good, like very solid from different points. Like they're preparing, like it's not quite there yet, but it's like you remember what Total Battle guys said, like we were trying to figure this out for years, and now look where they are. They are.
And it's still not the silver bullet. It's like different things together that they did. Yeah, same will be done here.
I give it a 7 for Admon, but like
because you don't see the full picture.
It's hard to see the full picture, but the main drawback I might even be F6, right? Like I shouldn't be able to play 43 levels on iOS without seeing a single ad when I haven't paid for anything. It's just too slow. Like if it's really slow with like monetization, right?
Yeah. They should definitely need to push.
They definitely need to do that, something around that, right? Like, and I looked at videos as well going up to level 200 on iOS, and there's still no ads, right? So I'm assuming if it's just they kind of assume that people on iOS will pay, so they will monetize with IAPs, and then Android, and then that's a bit
The kicker here for me is like, what's the percentage of like how many people actually play the other game modes, the black and white one and the sandbox one? Because the sandbox one, if I understand, is probably the biggest source of ad revenue currently, I would guess, if you really play like for 30 minutes.
Usually it's the between level ones where basically people spend most of the time, right? Because you want the interstitial impressions. Like banner impressions, you have to watch so many.
30 minutes and they slap interstitials into those 30 minutes, they don't care about you. That's the thing. Keep that in mind. You played that level, you watch like 10 interstitials just to finish it.
That's going to be an issue on Android and Google as soon as they find that. If they say it's like interrupting, they're going to have issues with that, like uploading it. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Because one last thing I wanted to add. When you press the pause button on those 30 levels, the moment you unpause it, it goes into interstitials.
Okay, let me show you one thing. Just to finish this up. Just to tell you.
Oh yeah, the discrepancy we talked with Felix.
Yeah.
It's just come on. Yeah, I think the Android is not there yet, but still, like if you make 98%,
97% of revenue coming from iOS,
then yes, I think what I think is they try to test ads on Android and then they move the best possible outcomes from Android just to iOS. Yeah, that's my assumption.
I'd like to know like the actual user base, because then you could actually do some calculation. Because if you assume this number is somewhat correct with sadness multiplier and stuff, because then you can calculate like what they would be earning, right? And we have no idea. Like the downloads or active user base is probably quite off from this because it's quite new. Because we stay 2.5 steps ahead.
And just talked about it.
We have to report on these quickly as we spot them, because otherwise we would be 2.5 steps behind, and then we wouldn't be 2.5 gamers. Now, would we, Jakob? and on that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you so much. Share this episode with dogs, cats, fans, and everyone else. Catch us in the Slack HQ where we talk. You can ask us questions. We reply. I reply, Matthew replies, and Jakob replies.
Felix rarely.
Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.